Yeah, it's Matthew Miller, and I'm back on the second segment. And for what I was saying on the first segment about the beetroot and the rain garden grow system and the hydroponics, so I was going to say that, but unfortunately I ran out of time on the first segment. But I'm going to continue on this segment about saying this one as well. And yes, my beetroot was growing quite well. This time I left them much longer, and they were much bigger. Still only 12, and I got about 900 grams after I had harvested. Gave it a good wash, cut all the leaves off and that though. Alright, that's probably it for now. And yes, I saw I had a problem with my computer. It's just the graphics just keeps glitching. And yes, I just know how devastating it was. It was a glitch when I was sorting out the news and that when I was using Microsoft Office. So yes, I'm thinking about getting a new computer anyway, because of all the technical issues that I'm having on this one. So let's just continue on now. Let's get to the news. And where to start? GMO labeling legislation introduced in Minnesota had massive public support. Massive public support. And that's about the GMO labeling and like Monsanto and all the other corporations trying very hard to not to have their products labeled because they want us to keep eating it and they want us to keep sick. They want to keep us making sure we are still getting sick from eating all the GMOs and that though. But no, I'm really so admired the people who do support GMO labeling because they have a right to know and they are voting with their dollars, and that's over in the USA. And it is good news, people though, but there's still some but the corporation is trying very hard to not to have their products labeled if it contains GMOs, that means genetically modified organisms. Moving on. A drought declared in the South Island. And yes, as it was in the New Zealand Herald, and the primary industry minister Nathan Guy have officially declared a drought condition in the east coast of the South Island being a medium scale adverse event. Yes, as even before it was declared a drought, they had a fire. And yes, a fire. And yes, I had watched the mainstream news, and some of their pine trees, probably even a lot more, got burnt down. And they're like about over 20 years old, those pine trees, and they only had to wait for about a few more years before they get cut down. And a lot of people grow them so they can actually invest in it as well, invest some wealth on it as well, some money once they've been cut down. Well, let's move on. Pushing some wrong buttons. The corporate land grab in Ukraine. Yes, you know that protest that was to overthrow Viktor Yankovic. I'm not sure if I had said that quite right though. That was the previous government that got overthrown by a protest that being staged by George Soros because they know that they want to take over and destabilize Ukraine and to put in a puppet government that will allow corporations to take over. And yes, Monsanto wants to probably to have some land so they can experience growing GMOs and keep polluting it. Even it was polluted in 1986 since the Chernobyl disaster, which that was the worst nuclear disaster in the history. And that, but Monsanto doesn't care about that though, even if they don't care about how polluted land is, they're still going ahead and growing some plants that GMOs. They might actually even grow some plants that can tolerate radiation. But they won't care if it is being contaminated because they want us to eat it because they're always for profits. They put their profits ahead of people. Those corporations do. And that's why they want it because the land is fertile. It's got a lot of good minerals and it makes plants grow. Moving on. And let's go to the workplace of 2040. Mind control, holograms, and biohacking are the future of business. Oh, boy, man. Mind control, holograms, biohackings. Oh, man. And that's in 2040, people. That's only 25 years away. And times do fly by, people. Jetpacks, boy, and why they want to offer us jetpacks? Because jetpacks can only last for about several minutes before you have to land, otherwise you drop from the sky. And it has, yeah, but it says that in Crosshair developer capable of flying for more than 30 minutes at an altitude of 800 feet. Can't really convert it to meters. So trying to get it into meters because it's an imperial measurement, but it's up to 800 feet, so that's not actually that high. That's only like about 9 higher than the Eiffel Tower in Paris. So 30 minutes, people, if you're flying those, but you have to land before your 30 minutes is up in the air, or else you drop from the sky. And it goes flat. And holograms. Yeah, no, I'm going to skip that one now. And let's go to new money, people. Yes. I've always been told about that one and informed about this one because they're trying to get us into a cashless society. Even in the USA, they're trying to discourage people from using cash and to get us to even use our credit cards, FPOS, debit plus, what you like to call it. So you get tracked. People, yes. So yeah, because they might even think my point of chip in our arms, so we wouldn't even have wallets and that though. And yes, but the problem is, are you willing to sacrifice your privacy just for that? Because you'll be tracked wherever you do and wherever you go, and whatever you say, and they're trying to even track what's going on in your body. So yeah, and there's a digital currency like Bitcoin though, yeah, that has been started though, it was a cryptocurrency. I was sort of thinking about going into it though, but I saw start raising doubts in that now. But let's just move on to the mind control. And yes, that has been going on for ages though, and yet nanobots will swim around your body and clearing some blood. And yes, but the thing is, control technology with our minds. This is how ridiculous it is, though, man. They're trying to get us into transhumanism, and which they are entirely against. Well, oh man, boy, time does fly, people, man. And let's go on to the next one. This is what happens when the kids leave terrestrial education, but I'm not going to go into that much though, because I've got so little time that covered though. But you can go on Ecolibrary to find it out as well. But let's go on to Samsung Smart TV will listen, capture, and transmit your private conversation. And yes, they can actually hear what you're saying. They listen to you, man. Boy, it is freaky though. And yeah, as one, if you've spoken including personal or other sensitive information, that information will be captured and transmitted to third party people. Boy, and it's like 1984 people. That's from George Orwell in the novel of 1984. Tell us that they will all have one of those spying Big Brother people, and there's a Samsung Dirty Little Secrets on YouTube. What Joseph Paul Watson is saying from Infowars.com. Moving on, guess I got hurry through. Moscow and Cairo to drop to US dollar and use national currency in a trade. They're going to use national currency instead of US dollar because they know how worthless is that. And yes, there's also another article that says read more. Iran moves away from US dollars in foreign trade. People, the other countries are ditching the US dollar because they know how worthless is that. How worthless the US dollar really is. Is Russia planning a gold-based currency? Yep, they know they're switching to gold rather than using the US dollar, because yet just I heard like in India they start using gold for trading as well, because yet the US dollar is getting worthless though. It's lost pretty much almost 100% of its value since 1930, when the Federal Reserve being created. Well, we're going to have to go through that one quickly. 6 grand instrument that keeps us slave into the matrix. The illusion of law, order, and authority. The illusion of prosperity and happiness. The illusion of choice and freedom. The illusion of truth. The illusion of time. And the illusion of separateness. Yes. Yet the New World want to create to have us separate from other people, either on the left or right. And they're also using religion as a tool to divide and conquer as well. And yes, that's how it goes, people. They want us to keep us divided and find something that's not really matter. Well, unfortunately, we're actually out of time now. On this segment though, so I'm moving on to the next segment, talking about New Zealand's economical bubble. So that's it for now. See you on the next segment.